Hi, my name is Patrick Bartmus, and this is a series on being a caregiver for a parent. And for most of us, moving from one room to the next is a simple act. But I've discovered for people with dementia, it's sometimes a scary experience. One of the factors that a caregiver needs to consider when setting up a living environment is how much of light is available in each room. We also need to figure out how to adjust the light levels according to our needs, like designing the lighting for a set, for a play. For example, when my mom was living at home, I would help her dress for the day in the morning and get ready for bed at night, obviously in the bedroom. So there needed to be different light levels for each phase of the day. At night, I would turn on the soft, warm lamp beside the bed as a cue that it's time to head towards the bed and it's nighttime, time to sleep. And in the morning, she needed more light, so we turned on the overhead light and opened up the windows. Gave her a cue that, it's time to get up and start the day. I didn't have to say it, it's just something that the light tells you. Also, dressing is difficult in the dark. And for some people with Alzheimer's disease, eyesight begins to fail early. Not because there's something wrong with the eyes themselves, but the area in the brain that processes visual information begins to deteriorate. And this can make a merely dim room seem dark. It can also cause fleeting hallucinations or just jumble visual data. Since people with Alzheimer's are often closed in their own worlds, it's hard to know what they're seeing unless they react to it. The only way I know how to help my mom is by observing her behavior. So I'll give a couple examples that clearly show she's having trouble with her eyesight. One of the reasons I moved her into a memory care facility is because our house is old and some of the thresholds between rooms are actually raised, like a good half inch. We also have area rugs and wooden floors that are perpendicular to each other from room to room. So when she began having depth perception problems, it became confusing for her to navigate from room to room. She often didn't see the thresholds, and she avoided stepping on area rugs because they either looked like platforms or step downs. In the care facility, even right now, I've noticed that she's begun carefully stepping over the patterns that are printed in the carpet, presumably because they look like cracks or barriers. Another issue to consider is making sure the bathroom is bright. And some people develop a fear of running water and truly despise getting their heads wet. And when Mom was living at home, she started showing signs of that. And now that she's moved away, she's showing it's becoming more pronounced. So the bathroom needs to be a welcoming place. It needs to be clean, bright, good smelling. And when we go into it with our care partners, we need to be relaxed and smiling. It doesn't need to be a tense moment. If a light bulb is burnt out over the shower, it needs to be replaced immediately because it's cruel and reckless to drag a person who can't see very well and doesn't like getting wet into a dark shower. All the rooms in your residence need to be bright, or at least at the same light level. I know that I've been in one room with my mom and the other room is dim and she will avoid going into it, even if we need to go through it or into it. And that just means I need to plan a little better so that as the light dims outside, I go around and adjust the light levels in the house. A good example of light use is actually in my mom's facility. The owner has built another residence for people who are a little higher functioning. They have more frequent visitors. Because these residents are a little sharper, they tend to hang around the front door waiting for it to open. And in this residence, the door is actually around a tight little corner and down a dark little hall that has a separate light switch. And the lights are off most of the time, so when the residents pass by this entrance, all they see is a dark room and they don't even bother going in. So it's pretty effective. The only time it worked against us is when this facility used to have a daycare program, and when people would come from the outside to enter the building, they'd open the door and it would just look like they're taking their care partner into a dark little closet, and it caused some problems. But for the most part, that's a good strategy, keeping a room dark where you don't want your loved one to go. Locked doors just seem to frustrate them, so playing with the light levels seems to work. These are just some things to keep in mind as you set the stage for your caregiving. There have been scholarly studies on the effects that light levels can have on people with dementia, and I'll provide links in the description below. But really, if you just use common sense and put yourself in the shoes or behind the eyes of your care partner, you'll make excellent decisions. Thanks for watching.